Ladies and gentlemen, we all know very well that Raila Amolo Odinga, after the demonstrations of 2022-2023, there is an agreement that they signed with President William Ruto, which included the NADCO report as its baby that was born from that agreement. And then, later on came in the request for Raila Amolo Odinga to go for the AUC seat. Everything else was kept aside, and all government machineries were concentrated towards Raila Amolo Odinga's campaign towards the AUC election. When these people were going for this seat, that is the AUC chairmanship seat, they all knew that there are two outcomes. Number one, Raila Amolo Odinga could lose, and number two, Raila Amolo Odinga could win. What we know very well, as the campaigns were on, Raila Amolo Odinga and William Ruto drew the plan for either of the results. And as it was expected, Raila Amolo Odinga lost. And the plan that was to follow is Raila Amolo Odinga and William Ruto to officially formalize their agreement that they had made with the NADCO report. We all know that the NADCO report was to be implemented at some point. But the moment Raila Amolo Odinga declared for the AUC election seat, it was kept aside. Meaning the interest of Raila Amolo Odinga came first. So after they had declared to support Raila Amolo Odinga to the AUC, the campaigns went on, and actually we saw how much money was pumped into that campaign. And unfortunately, the expectations of some Kenyans, that Raila Amolo Odinga was to win, did not come to pass. As we speak today, Raila Amolo Odinga is back in Kenya to get on with his local politics. So, as we are seeing right now, the agreement that now, or even the coalition that has been signed by William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, it was a plan that was laid if Raila could have lost, which happened back a few weeks ago at Ethiopia's, where we have the Mandela Hall. Now, Raila Amolo Odinga lost and now is back to seriously active local politics. So, therefore, the agreement they had before, it is now being actualized. And in this video here today, I want to take you through, guys, ladies and gentlemen, why Raila Amolo Odinga and William Ruto had to merge as it was witnessed today. But before I take you through, please, if this is the first time you're watching my videos, kindly make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. William Ruto is already the president. Raila Amolo Odinga is already in government. Then what could have caused these two people again to go ahead and formalize their agreement? Number one, it's to capture power in 2027. Nobody can lie to Kenyans right now that these two people are coming together for the interest of Kenyans. No, because if it was the interest of Kenyans, for the past 1 year, or maybe almost a year ago, we have had Raila Amolo Odinga donate his alleged experts into government. Since then, there is nothing significant that has happened in this country except stories that were continued from the previous cabinet that was dissolved back in 2024, where the Gen Z requested or maybe demanded from the president. So therefore, if Raila Amolo Odinga wanted to make a change, we could have seen the signs. But because there were no signs, it was just stories. Nothing happened. The status quo was maintained. Let me just give a brief example here. Raila Amolo Odinga promised after the Gen Z protest, even after declaring to go for the AUC seat, that there were going to be compensation for those who lost their lives. Did they happen? They didn't. That is the same story they've just started. So in a nutshell, if Raila Amolo Odinga wanted it to happen, William Ruto was not blocked to see Raila Amolo Odinga. Neither was Raila Amolo Odinga stopped from accessing State House. In a nutshell, they could have just sat down and agree, as I proceed with this, Baba wa Taifa, please let me do this and that, or please Ruto do this and that. But they could not agree on anything that was concerning the use of this country. So therefore, the intention of this agreement, it is the 2022 coalition that is going probably to be intended to capture power in the next election that will be seriously contested. So there's nothing new about this except simply capture of power. Another thing I feel here strongly is to develop a bond that is needed for the coalition that is going to be announced come 2027. As we speak today, ODM and UDA seriously contested against each other back in 2022. These people, even amongst the leaders themselves, they developed some form of antagonism that almost led to enmity. So therefore, when they formalized this early enough, they worked together. These people could get used to each other. If it is trust that they need to develop amongst the junior leaders and the senior leaders, it happens. So that as they formalize their campaigns, formalize their coalitions come 2027, you'll get that these people are already used to each other and they can even do campaigns together and they understand each other's weaknesses, which can be able to help them propel the campaigns come 2027. So basically, that was the motive. That's another motive that they had in the agreement. Number 3, of course, is the issue of running the government. Assuming that these two people intended to change this country, they have to formalize their agreement for them to run the government. And going forward, you're going to see more other positions given to Raila Amolo Odinga. And of course, it has already started from the National Assembly. We all see what is happening there. Committees are being changed. We are getting reshuffles. We are getting people replaced. We are getting people kicked out, others coming in. So those are some of the changes we expect. But however, even in the parastatals of this country, even in the ministries, even in the PSS positions, we are going to see serious changes going to happen in a few days to come, because basically that is what an agreement, a political agreement entails. If they want to run the country, be able to deliver, then William Ruto must allow Raila Amolo Odinga's men to come into government. If that is the intention of this coalition that they have just formed. Another thing we have to remember here, for Raila Amolo Odinga to help William Ruto come 2027, he must be relevant starting now. He must be actively involved. He must be having a platform for him to showcase his ability for this country. Perhaps let's talk of delivering. So therefore, Raila Amolo Odinga to deliver, he must have been in government. He must be in government, where he'll be able to instruct one or two things, where he's able at least to steer forward some projects, where he's able also to move across the country with state power, machineries, given security. So that has to happen. And for that to happen, Raila Amolo Odinga must be given a serious and formidable agreement that will enable him to freely move around the corridors of government. That's basically what must happen. And that's why we are seeing right now, Raila Amolo Odinga has to sign and make it public to Kenyans. When they had an agreement with President Uhuru Kenyatta, we realized that the agreement was not put in public. Instead, they came up with something like BBI, where Raila Amolo Odinga used it as a platform to brand himself, again, to rebrand himself. And he did that generously. He ensured that he has moved to all parts of the country to campaign for something that Kenyans had already accepted about. Leaders already accepted. It's only required that they ensure that it's in accordance with the law and that it's passed. But Raila Amolo Odinga moved across the country, of course, and he got to rebrand himself, which of course enabled him to seriously put a serious challenge for William Ruto back in 2022. So basically, those are the few things I feel strongly that are guiding the alignments between Raila Amolo Odinga's ODM, and of course, UDA's team, led by President William Samoei Ruto. All leaders were present, all officials of the both parties were there, and they all witnessed the signing of these agreements. However, there are so many observations I made from there, and in my next video, I'm going to clearly share with you all these observations, which are shocking to my extent. From my opinion, that was shocking. See you next time for more videos. My name is Abel Mukwa. Please make sure that to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. For those who keep engaging me, taking your time to comment on my comment section, I really want to thank you, because that's the best way I get to learn from you guys. See you next time for more videos.